What's something that every parent should tell their child? It's alright to make a mistake, as long as you can admit it and grow from it. I'll go one step further. I teach little kids, and I tell them often that they have to make mistakes to learn. I emphasize that the learning happens when we find and fix our mistakes. And when I make a mistake in front of them, I acknowledge it, and they encourage me. Good job. MRS. Rhymes. You helped your brain grow. Double quote. I get so much satisfaction out of being the teacher I wish I had had. I'm proud of you. Be careful with this one. I say it to my son, 3, frequently enough that I hear it back. Good job finding Monsters Incorporated for me, mommy. I'm so proud of you. Great job turning on my tablet, mommy. I'm so proud of you. Thanks for bringing me my milk, mommy. I'm so proud of you. Maybe I should have waited. Lol. A good parent shouldn't be afraid to apologize to their kid when they're wrong. Yeah. If you can't apologize to a 3-year-old, you've got humility, which, to me, is a very important trait to have as a human being, especially as a parent. If you make a mistake and need help, come to me. Kids tend to make bad situations worse by trying not to get caught. I know way too many people who got in drunk driving accidents because they were too afraid to call their parents for help and drove home or got in the car with a drunk driver. My mom told this to me, and I think a lot more parents should. I don't care if you get too drunk at a party as long as you tell me and I can pick you up. I won't yell. I won't punish you. As long as you are responsible and it doesn't happen all the time. Double quote. In my opinion, teaching your kids it's okay to be a bit rebellious, make mistakes, and live their life in their teens is a good thing to do. I never had a reason to not trust my mom because of this. OFC, I got consequences for some things. But if I ever made a mistake and needed her, she was there. Admitting they can be wrong sometimes. Parents are humans and make mistakes. Kids need to see that. Be kind. You never know what someone might be going through, and I love you. Sometimes you're just collateral damage in someone's war with themselves. If anyone ever tells them, this will be our little secret, especially if it involves physical contact, my child needs to get as far away from that person ASAP. Find a trusted adult and contact me. My child will know they will not be in trouble for telling, and I will always believe them. There are good secrets and bad secrets. Bad secrets that make you feel unhappy don't need to be kept a secret. You either can tell me, grandma, or your teacher, and we all will work together to make that secret go away so you can feel happy again. You will never ever be in trouble for telling about a secret that makes you feel bad. The proper terminology for their genitals. Other adults aren't always going to know what your kid means when they say someone played with my monkey or my tutu. And predators aren't going to call them by the proper names either. So it's another deterrent for abuse to occur. Vagina. Penis. Vulva. Testicles, these are not dirty words, people. Edit. Thank you for the award, kind stranger. I'm also glad to know my kids aren't the only ones embarrassing me to death. So thank you for the last two. Look out for the smaller kids on the playground. Kindness is free, so make sure to use it. Part of our routine is asking who he was nice to that day. Now that I'm doing daycare drop off, I ask who he can be nice to and sometimes offer suggestions on nice things to do. It's important to be kind, but you don't need to be everyone's best friend. Some people are just not going to like you, and that's okay. It goes both ways. Also, being a teenager is f***ing hard work. It gets so much better after high school. I promise. Childhood is like being drunk. Everyone remembers what you did except you. So be careful. My dad. Except we're also going to use everything you do to belittle you, make you feel like you're unwanted, and pressure you to be a copy of us at the expense of who you actually are. My parents. Whenever another kid is being mean to them, physically or verbally, don't tell your child that the other kid was being mean to them because they like your child. Your child might grow up mistaking abuse for affection. A friend of mine told her child in kindergarten, when some kid is mean to you, if it is not too mean, just go away. Totally ignore them. Play with other kids. But if they are really mean for no reason, and they won't leave you alone, hit them fast with all you've got. Only once. Then she turned back to me and said, don't judge me. Out there in the playground is kill or die. And I won't let my kid be no one's prey. I was truly scared. Maybe not your life is too easy. You have nothing to be depressed about. Definitely not. Why don't you wake up early and exercise, because these will solve everything that's going wrong with you. Do you want to talk about anything? Well, what's important is what they say afterwards. I've experienced people trying to make me talk about my problems as if they're trying to help, and they made me regret talking about it. Knock the door before you enter. Oh my gosh. Yes. It's non-verbal. But knocking, and even better, waiting for permission to enter before doing so, is so important. Especially for teens. It gives them their own sense of privacy and freedom. And that's so important. You will always be my child. And I'll always want to take care of you. But you have the right to ask me to let go when you feel the time is right. If you try to make it on your own but fall, call me anyway. I want to be there to catch you. After all, parents can't drive forever. At some point the kid needs to take the wheel. A parent's job is to make sure the kid is confident enough to ask for help when they need it. They don't need to know everything. Disclaimer. Does not apply to actual cars. Sometimes, friends you trust will manipulate you. Parents should teach their children what manipulation is and how to avoid it. Cause it ain't so black and white. My sister was forced into getting drunk and almost getting caught by the police as the aftermath because of a bet with her friend. Don't recommend. Close bracket. Don't fucking go into any random people's vans or cars at all. I appreciate your input. You won't always be right and what you say won't always change my mind, but I still value your opinion. Apostrophe. Communicate with your kid. Most of the time you will know better than they will, but at least listen to what they have to say. Remember to also keep an open mind and be willing to compromise. Stop running around the restaurant, Jimmy. Express that it's okay to feel uncomfortable and not want to do something. I saw a post where a mother taught her daughter to say hello, but if she didn't want a hug or a kiss on the cheek, she was never forced to do so. If the kid felt comfortable, she would do it. Expressing that this is okay seems pretty important, Imo. This. My sil forces her 2 toddlers to kiss and hug everyone goodbye when they leave. They don't see me often and I can tell they're a little hesitant to do it. So I always say that's alright, we can high five goodbye. But my sil insists and it's pretty awkward. Now I have my own toddler who says goodbye however she prefers. Waves at some people. Cuddles others. If you sprinkle when you tinkle. Be a sweetie and wipe the city. Gentlemen, move closer. It's shorter than you think. Ladies, please stay seated for the whole performance. Your low academic performance does not mean you'll be a failure in life. No. My son. Don't just eat a candy because it's a candy. Eat only good candies. Double quote. You'll pry my handfuls of black licorice jelly beans that nobody else wanted from my cold dead hands. If someone is harming you, I don't care what the school says, you are free to defend yourself. I will not ever ground or be upset with you using self-defense. We totally agree with this. As well as changing the never hit a girl narrative, we have a son. If he's at school or whatever and a girl is physically attacking him, then it's okay to use physical self-defense. As long as it's reasonable self-defense, then we will never punish him for using it in the correct scenario. Obviously de-escalating is the first port of call. Also, it's okay to walk away. It doesn't make you less of a man to walk away from a fight if you can. And walking away should always be a first resort. Then try to de-escalate if you can't walk away. Then use physical self-defense reasonably. Capital X. The world is a FK'd up place. People are going to hate you for the sake of hating you. And spit on you for what you believe. What I want you to know is I'll always support you. And I'll never be disappointed in what you do with your life as long as you love it, my dad. You didn't ask to be born, so it's my responsibility to take care of you. Pay for your expenses and make food, and you don't have to thank me for it because it's normal, actual thing my parents told me as a child. Preach. Also, even if you didn't birth the child but took on the responsibility, you took on all of that. You don't get to demand eternal undying gratitude for keeping them alive and supplying their basic needs. Don't judge a person by the color of their skin. I know it's simple, but I feel like it fits with what's going on with the world right now. I'm not sure I agree that this needs to be told. I think it's better to just treat everyone the same, and the kid will instinctively learn that there is no difference between people with different colored skin and just see everyone as equal. It's alright to fail, as long as you pick yourself back up and learn something from it. And that you still love them no matter their grades and their beliefs. At least that's what I wanted to hear from my parents. Always have an open mind before coming to an opinion. Question and research the facts before blindly following someone else's lead. Speak up. Say what's on your mind. So many kids are taught it's rude to talk back to your parents that it sometimes robs them of the confidence to speak up anywhere. I'll never be mad at you when you are telling me the truth. I always told my son that I'd be a little mad if he told me the truth about a bad thing he did. And he might be punished. But we could discuss things. But I'd be very upset if I discovered the lie, and punishment would be assured. I don't know if he lied less. But he was never surprised by my reaction either way. I'm always here for you. I'm not a parent, but something I wish my parents would have told me before graduation is that, even though I have friends in high school, to always have it in the back of my mind that they were going to move on after high school, and so was I. Whatever happens in high school is just a small moment in the timeline of your life. As important as it seems during the time, in the end it really doesn't matter. It's different if it is a big life decision like tests, picking your next level of education. Jobs and family matter. It is my job as a parent to gradually free you from reliance on me. It is your job as a future adult to eventually be self-reliant. And I don't mean when you're 40, or 35, or 30. I'm thinking more along the lines of 21, at the latest. I shall work hard to accomplish this goal. And so shall you. Together we will transform you into a self-reliant adult we can both be proud of. Communism has failed every time it's been tried. I want new parents who are less political when I ask for a mere bedtime story. The world isn't fair. Don't try to change what you can't. And instead worry about the things you can. Do not allow yourself to be questioned by cops without an attorney present. At least in the US. What gay people are. I was 12 when I first released gay was just a matter of liking the same gender. I thought gay meant an effeminate man. Or something that was girly. Think that's so gay. Parents should remind their children that some children have two moms or two dads. And that some people fall in love with and marry people of the same gender rather than the opposite one, and that's completely normal. Also, teach them why people look a certain way. And to respect that. Some people have scars or an amputated limb. Or they have Down syndrome, which makes them look different. And parents should discuss that openly when the situation arises. Maybe not around the person in question, rather than make it seem taboo and not talk to them about it. For example, we don't know why he only has one leg. He might have had an accident or an illness in his leg that meant he lost it. However, we need to remember that people like him are still just like us. They may need extra help with some things. But we shouldn't stare or laugh at them because it's upsetting for them. Double quote. The idea that if someone specifically tells them to not tell their parents, they should tell their parents immediately. This is something an old boss, as an au pair, did with her kids. She did this with the idea that if anyone tried to do something awful, let's be honest, most molesters grooms the child with the just our little secret nobody will believe you method. Then they would tell their parents, knowing that their parents would always be thankful they did, even if what the kid did was naughty, illegal, whatever. Hilarious after effect once was the kids weren't allowed soda. One of their cousins gave them some and one of the kids immediately told me and their mum. Also think that it might perpetuate into their teens. Their mum hopes anyway IA. I will never be mad at you in the moment when you need help. Double quote. If my kid calls me and is drunk, high, whatever. IDC. I want you safe and right now. You are making a great decision by calling or texting me to get you. That takes balls and trusting in the parent. I wouldn't want to destroy that. My parents are very spiritual. And when I was 8 my mom said to me, we love you very much. But we are only your guardians. Your true parent is God and he also loves you very much. If we are ever not there, ask him for help and he will always help you. Apostrophe. That always stuck with me. My parents said they were my world parents but that I also had a heavenly father. Kinda weird now. But as a kid the thought of a loving God who loved me like my own parents did wonders in my internal psyche. Particularly compared to kids who were taught that God will smite the shit out of them. Working hard is more important than being smart. Being smart helps, though. Smart helps you avoid working hard for the wrong people or in the wrong ways. Boxer worked hard. True. But if he'd been a little smarter he would have seen that Snowball was up to no good well before he got sold to the knackers.